Welcome, Redbeard here, and it is time for my first ever series on this channel. Road to rank 1 corrupted Gauntlet as a hardcore ironman. The only rule is simple: I cannot use tier 3 armor inside the Gauntlet, from Lumbridge to the walls of Prifddinas. Let's begin. Welcome to episode 3 of this epic adventure. Now it's time for some major upgrades and progress. When it comes to skilling, sometimes there are item requirements for quest. In this particular clip, I am going for the Fremennik Isles, which requires 56 woodcutting to make the shield. Normally you can just buy it from the GE, but for ironman it's an extra. Luckily woodcutting is also a requirement for the Song of the Elves, so it is much needed, and with the logs I'm getting a ton of XP. Hopefully enough for Wintertodt. If you are new, check out the first episode below. The good old days at the Flux Field. Remember when you lose your stuff and the saying was, back to the Flux Field? That is how I feel, but instead for cash, now it's for crafting. All I need is just 40, and it moves quite rapidly, to my surprise. Later I decided to get the Ardown Cape, which is the first one, of the achievement diaries, which can be quite handy for mining, smithing, and also a free teleport to an altar, which is terrific. And using a dueling ring, I can level and bank quite fast, but I found out there is this requirement to teleport to deep wilderness using the lever. It was like a kick to the face, since I did not know about this whatsoever. Even on my main I haven't done any full diaries. Yet with a main I can scout for extra protection, and I safely done it. I cannot help but think what other steps or quests are required to go into the wilderness, because it is bothering the hell out of me. Can you imagine I go somewhere in the wilderness and get specced out by like a volatile stuff? I know it's the worst case scenario, but still, I will complete all necessary quests that are in the way to the Elf City. The premise of this minigame is so promising, but I never ever done it or even entered it until now. It is quite a shame, because I think there is some major potential. Maybe, who knows, a new skill, or hell, a combined skill. Sailing and hunter, for example, where you build, sell, repair, or whatever else floats, and hunt while aboard your creation. It's just off the top of my head anyway. 39 crafting, one more to go until requirement, so I can do something else except picking flux and spinning. Until I can use blast furnace efficiently using the gold bars, I am doing as much quests as possible. That gives smithing XP. Here I was in luck, because both elemental quests give smithing and crafting XP. Yes, more herblore. It is by far I found that getting 38 herblore is much more difficult than any other skill. When it comes to ironman, maybe rune crafting is slightly more. Anyhow, with herblore you can just buy stuff like runes and go level magic, but instead you have to clean herbs, bank, get the secondary ingredient, you know, the whole 9 yards, until 38 prayer. But I have a plan which will only require me getting 30 instead of 38 herblore. If I had more natures, I could cast superheat on iron ore, which gives smithing and magic, along while getting mining XP, which I just found out. I utterly forgot about its usefulness and XP it gives. Maybe in some cases will be needed during Slayer. Love this maze. The key is to click examine every time. Mithril ore, natures, and some coins. Not bad. This was riskier than I thought. While training at the Giants, I gathered some keys along the way, and thought that I should give this boss a try using range protect, while snaring and kiting with magic. Its drop table is very decent, most notably the runes, and I managed to kill him twice. But as of right now it's not worth the risk, because I can die easily by just misclicking, and the food I brought was just not powerful enough. If I got unlucky, when I upgrade my magic gear, I'll just finish the keys off, maybe at 66 magic. It's time to get into Slayer, and my task from Vanaka is Blue Dragons. They are slightly more powerful for me, as of right now, yet they are like Slayer XP bags. And once I got the Dusty Key, I used this A spot with magic. Here I was slightly more accurate than at Ogres, and not splashing as much. I cannot wait to level ranged and use the broad ammunition. It's incredibly cheap and powerful compared to their cost. I've had to come back here to the ogres because of the lack of law runes. It's like the great law rune depression for me. Luckily, these drop laws from 8 to 15 I think at a chance of 1 to 16, somewhere around there. It is my fault that they are slightly harder to kill, because instead of magic I should have used ranged, but that's how you learn. Entering Karamja. Here I'm doing the jungle potion, getting the rogue spurs, herb. 2 of them. 4 legends quests I think, so I would not have to come back here. And these guys got hit with the ugly stick one too many times. Shiloh village is done, and now I can do one small favor. I have stacked enough teleports to run around the whole map. The amount of time it will take is nothing compared to the leveling from 30 Herblore to 38, which is my plan. As for the gems needed during the quest, it took me almost an hour I think to get all 6 of them cut, especially the red topaz. I crushed I think 10 of them. Still, more mining XP. That's the thing with ironman, if you make a mistake with items, you need to get more, hence why you get more XP. This one was a surprise, because it hits constantly. You can either use epic X or magic. I underestimated how often it hits. I just thought it's like a low level NPC, but without flinching I would not have done it, and I have no prayers as of yet. I had enough lore runes to finish one small favor until I hit the Sears part, where you have to climb to fix the roof and fix the weather thing, whatever, the reader, and you need 36 agility, which I thought I had, but I only had 34. It would not have been a big deal, but I have run out of lore runes. That means I have to go back to ogres or giants and farm all over again. What I find. Here inside Taverley dungeon there are chaos druids, which were not added recently, but have always been here. And to top it all off, they drop herbs and commonly drop lore runes. This is a major win on both objectives I'm trying to achieve. I just can't believe I never knew of this place honestly. Even in RS3 there are chaos druids there. They have been here since release. Finally, completed one small favor and have the 2 lamps that give 10k each, which I will hold until 30 Herblore. The 2 inventory slots will be occupied until then, but it's not a worry. I mean, it's a good trade-off. I just wish I found those chaos druids earlier, because their lore runes are so common, along with the massive influx of herbs, especially runners. This is the final time I will step into the wilderness for the near future. This quest is very helpful for its gloves variant. At the blast furnace, using the gold gauntlets can net you over 200k smithing XP an hour. Plus it has offensive stats, so what more can you ask for? I'm just thankful all the wilderness stuff is done, and one step closer to the elf city. Also later I can get the chaos gauntlets and the cooking I think. If I complete the holy grail it would take me straight to 43 prayer, and it will be a game changer. They are a requirement also for Recipe for Disaster, so it has to be done. At the chaos druids I amassed enough supplies for Herblore, and finally have enough for 30. It would have taken me much longer if I haven't saved the lamps, but now I can do the majority of the quests. That's the thing with protection prayers. If you do not have them, you are locked out from doing many difficult quests. It is finished, the Holy Grail is returned, and I have the basics to do as many quests as possible for now, when it comes to combat. And as for Slayer, I can start to prayer flick higher level monsters. Should I get for example dragons, speeding Slayer up immensely and saving supplies. The iconic, dreaded Monkey Madness tunnel. This is the second time going through here and had some energy potions, so I put them to good use. Thankfully, I haven't buried any bones by mistake here, which I certainly did in the past. This was the end, ready to be done with the rune scimitar for good. During the fight I lacked accuracy, because I thought chaos spells would suffice. But no, I barely hit on him. So I waited and waited for them to chip its health near zero and then finish him off. You only have to deal the killing blow, but if you fail, some of its health will regenerate, so I would recommend blast spells or even ranged, even though it's not a big deal due to the safe spot. There it is, Monkey Madness done. Loss are no longer a problem, especially for the housing teleports. And now the iconic scimitar is unlocked. As I went and bought it and the rooms while checking the prices and stuff, I was caught a bit off guard and went south just to teleport, you know, when I almost lost my status. I thought they only attack when you're approaching the gate from the outside, but no, they can attack from the inside. If I got hit, I would have surely died. That would have been anticlimactic, but thankfully here we are. For now. Anyway, that is a wrap for this video. I completed a ton of quests, the Scimitar is unlocked, and now I will target Slayer slightly more, while also doing the quests. Let me know what you think below. Hit the bell, like, share, comment and subscribe. Happy escaping!